Hey guys, Coach Chad here. I want to talk about one of my favorite shoulder openers as well as shoulder strength movements. And it is simply a walk-in to an inversion or a walk-in to a handstand with feet on a box. Now this is one of those movements that's infinitely scalable. It scales all the way down to simply walking on your hands in a front plank, walking into a downward dog, and eventually walking all the way up into a wall. But in fact, I enjoy this one more than the full wall version because I think there's a lot more with regard to mobility and function that happens when we use the box. And the reason I say that is when you get into the full piked position, which I'll demonstrate in a second, you're gonna realize the amount of hamstring or posterior line stretching that occurs within this position, as well as the amount of thoracic extension and upper back and shoulder mobility that is put into this movement. On top of that, where the strength comes in here, when you walk in from the full plank position and not cheat the movement, so it's not just about getting to the pike, but doing it from a full plank, you actually have a lot of scapular strength or scapular kind of rhythm that it has to happen properly, as well as shoulder strength when you're walking independently your hands into that inverted position. So there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that happens when you're using this exercise. And again, I like it for strength, especially for mobility, and a little bit of motor control and position around the shoulder and awareness of where you are when you're inverted. Most people are not comfortable being inverted, and this is a very easy starting progression. So I'm going to show the position on here, on this 30-inch box. Actually, I think this might be a 28-inch box, but either way, this could be used different ways. If this box was a little bit lower, it would put more of a strain on my posterior chain and my positioning. If it was a little bit higher, it would make it a little bit easier. So let me just demonstrate the movement and we can walk through it after that. So we start in a full front plank, and think about your front plank from a perspective of strong shoulder position. So I don't want to see you in an arch position. I want to see you in a nice, almost a hollow position from gymnastics. Then from here, you're going to be walking your hands in individually till you're in a completely stacked vertical position. So I want to see a vertical line from the palm of the hand through the elbow, through the shoulder, up to the hip. This is the position that you're trying to get to. Now, of course, if you were tight in the shoulder position, this would not work for you, so you're only going to walk into a certain degree. So you only walk within the range of motion that you currently have, but what you want to do is just stretch it a little bit so you get a little bit more out of it every single time. And that's why this becomes an incredibly good thoracic spine extension and shoulder mobility exercise. All right, now what we're gonna do on the next one is I'm gonna add the handstand push-up to it. This involves a little bit more strength rather than just position. So these would be two variations of how you could do this. And I would do repetitions of this exercise. So you could do this in many ways. We could do it with the original just walk in, walk out, which would be just fine. If you wanted to add more of a strength focus to it, you could walk in, do a handstand push-up, or a complete set of handstand push-ups if that was more the purpose. But in this case, what I'd like to see people do is walk in, complete the handstand push-up, walk out. That's one rep. So the time under tension is quite large. So you're probably gonna have to modify how many repetitions you're gonna do, but it'd be really interesting to see what a set of 10 might look like from a standpoint of wrist strength, elbow strength, shoulder strength, scapular positioning, as well as just overall shoulder strength in the position, okay? So this is the walk-in to handstand or inversion on the box.